with something that has been so popular since the time we launched the baguette designs in a pendant. You know, traditionally, when we talk about baguettes, we talk about them in terms of accent stones. Very rarely, if ever, do we showcase them in a full ensemble in a pendant. So to be able to offer this here today, which when we do show the carat weights, in this case here, it's 1.6 carats total weight, that would be the exact equivalent to what a genuine diamond carat weight would be. So we're looking at over 1.5 carats of all baguettes. One of the most precise, one of the most expensive of all cuts in the world. And we placed it on a beautiful sterling silver necklace that is adjustable from 16 inches. And then you also have your 2-inch extender. $39.95, 2 flex pays under $20 will be your first monthly payment, or with your HSN charge card in the next 2 hours when we showcase anything available on Flex, taking advantage of an extra flex opportunity. Now, let's take a look for a moment at the appraisal. $92 is what we were looking at in terms of the quality of the world's finest simulant diamonds. You know, I always like starting out these shows, and this is a perfect example of what we're able to do here exclusively at HSN with our own exclusive categories, such as Absolute, which is one of the #1 favorites, one of the largest sites on hsn.com that is visited every day from our jewelry lovers out there. But in terms of the quality of the stone that we bring to you, Absolute or CZs are graded exactly like genuine diamonds would be. So in terms of a perfect flawless diamond, that would be a D diamond. That is exactly what we are looking at in terms of quality of rough that we use in our Absolute. So it is, when I say, and people open up the box and see it for the first time, and they're like, oh my goodness, I never knew a diamond could even be that sparkly, could even emit that many colors. It's because most of us have never seen a genuine flawless diamond. I know I never have. So to be able to have that same feel and look, and no one knows the difference, wears exactly like genuine diamonds, even just as strong, just a little bit. It's a 9 on the Moss hardness scale, where a diamond would be a 10. So virtually indestructible. We set it in beautiful precious metals, so that's what you're gonna see, either sterling silver settings, or you're gonna see it set in the finest of vermeil, which is 120 mils of gold over sterling, no mystery metals whatsoever. But this, to me, is custom. This is that designer look that you go to a very high-end jewelry designer and say, I want a beautiful diamond necklace, all made out of baguettes, in a pendant that I'll never see myself coming and going in. And this would be that organic kind of feel that they would draw, and they would individually hand set each of the stones and create that beautiful custom look for you. But what a fun way to get started. You know, we were talking in terms of some of the exciting things that are going to be coming up in the near future. And this is the time that we start thinking about, maybe there's upcoming weddings. You have, you know, someone in the family that you know is planning maybe an April wedding or a summer wedding, or you're looking for a very special birthday gift. You're looking for a beautiful upgrade of some of the gorgeous pieces that you may already have, whether they're diamonds or CZs or other gemstones. Maybe it's gonna be, you know, that special birthday present that you've always wanted to get for a sister or a daughter who has their birthday, celebrates it in April, which of course the diamond is the birthstone for all those lucky gals that are born in the month of April. So in terms of that, this is the only 2-hour show scheduled on the day. In fact, yeah, we don't have another Absolute show. I want to say it's going to be at the end of March. So, and then of course, we always invite you and welcome Victoria, our beautiful model, to join us on hsn.com. You can see how pretty and simple and elegant and believable